From our time working in the music industry, me and Lenny have been to many different events. We've been to things like festivals, live showcases, etc. But we've also been to things like conferences and seminars and networking events. And especially with artists, there seems to be a bit of a preconception with these kind of events as kind of thinking that they're not going to be worth it. It's like, oh, I'll just go into a room with a name badge and I'll tell a few people what I'll do, they'll give me a business card and that'll be that and I won't get anything from it. And if you have that mindset, then that is what you will get from these events. But if you do it properly, you can actually get a lot out of them. So the biggest event like this in the world probably is South by Southwest in Texas. It's both a music festival, an industry showcase, and shitloads of like networking. Like everyone from at least the UK music industry, I'm pretty sure a lot of people from America will be there too. But in the UK, you've got things like BBC Introducing Live that me and Lenny went to last week, or Sound City in Liverpool do one. There's one called 53 Degrees North in Hull. There's loads everywhere, running pretty much throughout the year. They're not just limited to summer like all major festivals are. We're here to tell you today, make an effort to go to these events. You might be thinking, oh well, I never get anything out of these events, networking doesn't really work because it's just a bunch of people rubbing dicks together and it doesn't really work. If you do it right, it works, and I'm going to tell you how to do it right. It's worth saying as well as a side note that at these conferences there are people there who do know what they're talking about. It's not just like tryhards or wannabes, there are panels there that actually have people from major labels, from radio, from all kinds of areas in the music industry that actually know what they're talking about and convey relevant information to you, as opposed to just shit, which you can get elsewhere.
Most of these panels as well will also have Q&As, so if you have a very specific question for a person in that field, there's your opportunity.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you some tips about how to present yourself at these events. Tip number one, before you go, before you even buy a ticket, research who's going to be there. If you have a very specific goal in mind that you want to achieve and the person who would help you achieve that goal isn't going, then maybe reevaluate whether your time would be better spent elsewhere. That being said, when you've researched who's there, you will kind of have a better idea of what opportunities are available to you, what kind of things you will be able to achieve by going to this event. There's probably not much point going to a forum about radio presenters and radio shows if your goal is to actually get on radio, because what you really should be doing there is contacting PR and radio pluggers, and there's a high chance that there aren't going to be any radio pluggers there. If there is a radio pluggers forum, go to that, because that's where you want to be if you want to get your music on radio. Following on from that, before you go, you need to get your objectives in order. You need to know exactly what you hope to achieve by going to this event. You need to know who you need to collar, who you need to meet and talk to, and what you hope to get out of it. Don't waste your time sat playing the guitars in the Yamaha area if your goal is to pitch yourself to a label. Go and talk to the label people. With that in mind, it is worth saying that when you go to these things you have to keep an open mind, because you're just never sure who exactly you're going to meet. You might not end up meeting the person that you wanted to, but you might end up meeting someone else who can benefit you in a similar way. Even before you decide to go, when you look at the marketing material, when you look at the poster that says, oh, we've got all these guest speakers on, not everyone who's going is going to be on the poster. There will be hundreds of other people who are going to attend the event to network who aren't famous enough to have their name on the poster. So it's kind of up to you to decide which ones are worth your time and which aren't. Okay, another bit of advice for you is, when you go, have some form of memorabilia that you can give to people. Be that a business card, a flyer, a CD, a demo tape, a fucking USB, anything. Because having a physical thing is far easier to remember someone by. If you just walk up to someone, and even if you have a really great conversation and you say, oh yeah, we'll definitely work together, here's my email, here's your email. It is going to be much easier for them to remember you if you physically give them a card. Even though there is technically no difference, if someone has a tangible object in their hand that they can remember you by, they are more likely to get in touch.
There's also a chance that if you give them an email, that they won't associate the conversation they had with you with that email, so they'll just have an email and might not know whose email it is.
I've done that before. I forget who it was I've forgotten who it was I was talking to now. I think it was at one of the first years we went to Sound City. I spoke to someone and I had quite a long meeting with them and we exchanged emails, and then a few days later I looked at my phone and there was an email. I was like, who the fuck's that? And I just couldn't remember. So sometimes it is a case of people just forgetting, so bring some shit to give out. Especially if you're an artist and you're trying to showcase yourself, bring a CD or some of your music that you can give to people. There was a really good thing that happened when we went to BBC Introducing Live last week. This band came up to me and they were talking to me about what they do, what their kind of sound is. And I was like, oh, so is it kind of like this? And they were just like, fuck this, I'm going to show you. And they gave me some headphones and put it on. And that is rememberable. Yes, they didn't give me a physical thing, but They did give me a physical thing because they wrapped headphones around my head and made me listen to it, which has made me remember them far more than I would have if they didn't do that. Plus, it cuts out a lot of the bullshit that it's like, oh yeah, we're kind of an experimental jazz hip-hop trio with like prog rock influences. That doesn't really mean anything because anyone can get whatever they want from their own music. You can, like Lenny could say, oh, I'm an emo ska hip-hop band if you really wanted, because that might be the things that he's influenced by, but that's not really what he's making. So instead of giving me these preconceptions of what his music is, he just let me listen to it there and then, so I could have my own idea of what it is.
Funnily enough, the thing I remember from the exact same event was the lady that she started describing her music and then went, I'll just show you, got her ukulele out and showed us like part of a song. I don't necessarily recommend you do this, but I did definitely remember that, and it was good. It was a good way of getting the message across.
This doesn't mean make a song and dance, if you pardon the pun, about your music. You don't need to be there trying to make a big show of yourself, trying to be like, oh hey, look at me. You don't need to go dressed up in a big fucking outfit to sell yourself to people.
Well, neither did yours and my example there. Neither actually made a big deal about their music.
Yeah.
They just went, we asked them, and they went, oh, I'll show you. They didn't push it in our faces.
Which leads me to the last point. Don't script what you're saying. And this is because when you do this, it comes across as very fake and like a sales pitch. You need to find a way of conveying your information by getting all the information across and making sure they know everything that they need to know, but you need to do it in such a way that it's not like, oh, please listen to me, or you better listen to me. You have to be like, you have to make them want to listen to you. With all that in mind, please make an effort to go to these kind of events. Plan what you're going to do, meet the people you need to meet, keep an open mind to meet anyone who's going to be there who might help you, and don't make a tit of yourself. If you are an artist that continually goes to events like this, the industry who also go to events like that will start to recognise you and will start to take note of you. So it is worth going, even just to have a presence there. There's a girl that we know who's in a band called False Advertising, and she usually goes to events like this, and I've met her at a few of them. Like I met her over in Korea and I met her at BBC Introducing Live. Lenny is also as aware of it as I am, but he has never spoken a word to her in his life. And he is aware of her because she's always there. She's always there trying to make an active effort to improve her music career. And that is what you need to be doing. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more episodes from this series, click over there. And if you want to see our best of series, please click over there and have a lovely day.
I cleaned the room, look. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
The room is actually fucking clean after about 4 months of Lenny saying that he's going to clean it next week. It is now actually clean. Hooray!
You're welcome. Bye.